Okay, so I was able to, I don't know any Drupal, but when I was told to come give this presentation, I tried to put together something that Drupal users could appreciate, which was using continuous integration to install Drupal or to deploy a Drupal software. So here I'm using Bamboo, which is a continuous integration server. And what I'm trying to do here is be able to download Drupal code using Drush, and in this case, try to put together like any changes that I have, like my own scripts, and then run the tests, and then run functional tests. I don't have functional tests running, but I have the download mechanism, and then probably we'll try to do it in a different perspective, where I check in code into a Bitbucket, and then have the continuous integration server detect that and check it out automatically, build it, and then maybe we can deploy it or run tests. So how many of you use a continuous integration server in your environment? You do? What do you use? Jenkins? Same? You use the same thing? Okay. So Bamboo is similar to Jenkins and whatchamacallit? Hudson. But they differentiated in some of the things that they can do. Like, for example, Bamboo has this feature in it that allows you to be able to, if you're working in branches, for example, in Git, it detects a new branch that you've pushed out there, a new feature branch, and it automatically creates a new plan for you and builds it. And then also it's able to, if that branch succeeds, it's able to merge it back to the main trunk without you intervening with it. So it takes out the drudgery of merging code and all that kind of stuff. So showcase here the code that I did, and maybe some of you can chime into this or have questions about this. I created this plan where I install Bamboo using Drush, and so what I did is just run pure command line options in Unix, where I just run the Drush command and it downloads Drupal. And then I run the tests, which I really don't know whether they succeeded or not. It said they succeeded. I don't know, but we'll see. So here it's, I'm not sure if I'm connected to the internet. Okay, great. Does any one of you use Drush? And yeah, okay. So that goes out there, downloads Drush. It seemed to have installed it correctly. Now it's running the tests, and I don't know what simple test does. Can any of you help me with that? Okay. PHP unit. So does it run tests for all of Drupal core? Okay.
Ideally, modules would provide tests for additional functionality, but by itself, it should test. It's just part of the
Okay. Cool. So like, in this case, I did not use any version control system. What I just did is I just downloaded Drush, Drupal from Drush and just started running the unit tests. I will try here to, I checked in some of the code from that I downloaded into our revision control, and we'll try to connect to that Bitbucket and download it and try to run tests. Now, what I've noticed with some of these continuous integration servers, for example, like Bamboo, if I want to be able to, show the results of the tests in the right way in the UI, I have to use scripts like Ant. I don't know if you guys use Ant or not. We just straight Drush or command lines. What's that? Thing? Oh, ping. Okay. All right. So, and that shows the results of your unit tests.
Yeah, we're on Jenkins, the log of the test and what.
Okay. All right. So in Bamboo, to be able to see the results, I have to use Ant to run the commands and then output the results in XML, JUnit XML, and then Bamboo will pick that up and show the results. So the other neat thing about Bamboo is I can run several processes at the same time, and the reason being that in the continuous integration space, you want to be able to run your compilations, your unit tests extremely fast. Developers don't want to be sitting waiting for their code to integrate so that they can get that feedback that, hey, my code is broken. You want to be able to do that within a space of 10 minutes. Check out code, build it, run tests, and give the feedback back to developers. And so to be able to do that, some tests like this, it's taking a while. You build in like parallel processes that will run at the same time, and Bamboo is pretty good at doing that. At the same time, you can run these on different machines. So Bamboo will be able to detect that that the process you're running cannot run in just one machine, so it will push those out to another machine, and then it will gather up the results together in the main machine. And so it seems that the test ran here got done. I can't tell whether the results were legit or not. Usually those show up here. But let's try, we don't have a lot of time. I was going to try to check out the code from Bitbucket and then run using XML file I put in there. But probably this time would be a good time to just discuss this, questions, all of that. Any questions? So if you don't, let me ask questions. So what deployment strategies do you guys use? Like, how frequently do you deploy your code?
We're in the process of setting up our system, but what we had set up, but we run these unit tests and metric tests in our own code.
Mm-hmm.
And if we build a custom module, build slinger tests with that module, and it's detected by things, and we make a git commit to the dev site.
Mm-hmm.
Jenkins sees that you're trying to make a commit to dev, and then using we spin up a clone of the dev site and to a test site. So if we don't test on the dev, because Selenium can improve your site because it automates what a user's doing. So it can add in content, destroying things. So we don't want to test dev with it. So it clones dev into a testing site, and it runs PHP unit tests, simple tests, Selenium tests, and only if it passes those tests does get pushed to that direct commits pushed to that.
Okay.
And then we also run some tests
So how often do you deploy? How often do you go to production? Can you say you're able to check in a piece of code today or start working on it today, and by the end of the day, you're on a production system?
I think from start to finish, I mean, obviously it depends on like where we are with the site and support and everything,
Mm-hmm.
but from committing a module to the end, I think max it takes 30 minutes for it to run through the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
Push through it.
So your whole unit test stack takes about 30 minutes?
Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah.
Okay. So my question is, does your company feel comfortable to be able to say, we have a system where from the get-go we can check in code and feel comfortable for it to run automatically all the way to production?
No, we're not there. We definitely go in and, for the most part, we have manual checks done even after the QA.
Okay.
Which is part of the integration process.
Okay. Anyone else?
No, like ours is kind of chopped up. Mostly it's just the testing part. We still do manual deploy, so we don't let it go all the way to production.
Okay.
It's basically going to testing. So
Okay. And so how do you deploy? Do you and scripts?
yeah, we just do it personally instead of letting Jenkins or anybody do it themselves.
So does anyone use Git for deployment?
We've been trying.
You've been trying to? How's that working out?
I think Git, the concept is self-defined. It's a little difficult to understand if you have every single code, but that's
Mm-hmm. Okay.
we've been making branches. We have a development branch. Every developer branch has a developer branch.
Mm-hmm.
Branch to develop. And we have a couple of people designated for the team who review what's been merged to. We'll test that dev on the state's machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then the final Git roll of the merge that will happen sysadmins.
Okay. So the reason I'm asking is there's like different strategies of deploying to production. Some people use Git, so they have Git installed on their servers. So once they run their code through whatever systems they're running it, once they're comfortable for it to go to production, they merge it into like a production branch. And then in production, they just check out the code and it's live. Other people do things like using and scripts. They already have the Drupal code in production. All they change is like different subsets of scripts, and then they overlay those on top of what's on production. Each one of them has its advantages and disadvantages. Like he said, if you're using Git, it's hard to eliminate some of the other files that come with your version control, like the tools that you use to build the code and whatnot. On the other hand, using scripts to overlay, then that means there's old code that never goes away unless you're pretty good at figuring out what is never being used and needs to go away and adding new stuff on top of that. With Git, you don't have that problem because if you delete a file on your system, when you do a checkout on the server, it's gone, so it keeps the environment pretty clean. And there are other strategies of deploying too. Any other questions? I have some coupons for Atlassian tools. I don't know if anybody uses Jira, Bamboo, Greenhopper. You have some coupons if you want. If you want to try out some of the Atlassian code software like Greenhopper, Bamboo. Any one of you use Fisheye?
We tried this.
You try using it?
We did only one thing.
So you do code reviews and all that kind of stuff? Is-
I mean, you're just pulling, obviously, now you can put the Jira ticket in here, come in,
Mhm.
go pull. You can see it right in Jira.
Right.
For example,
It's too much?
yeah, I mean, we can just go and do Git log and stuff. I mean, it was a good way for our managers to see what we're doing. I think that's what we should do.
Yeah. Well, the purpose of Fisheye is to be able to collaborate with other developers or people who don't even look at code, don't know how to check out code. They can go in and audit the code, and you're able to talk to each other, especially if, let's say, now people work in a company, some are in Australia, others are in Britain, and you want to collaborate with them, like doing code reviews and all that kind of stuff. Fisheye, Crucible is a good tool for doing those kind of things. But I understand from a developer standpoint, you don't want your manager being able to sniff through your code and whatnot.
Yeah, but Jira is absolutely fantastic.
So try it out. Let me know if you have questions. Anything else? I think our time is done, unless you guys have other questions. Thank you.